All right, so welcome to another episode of What's Your Story? And who do we have here with us today?
My name's Rhiannon. I'm originally from Marcushook, Pennsylvania.
Why we got so many Pennsylvania guests? That's so crazy. It's you, it was James.
It's ghetto. I was from
You
ghetto.
say you don't like it there?
Ghetto.
For real?
Yeah. You couldn't even walk around in bare feet because there were like needles everywhere.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
It was bad.
Well, we're happy that you're here then.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm here. I did not want to be
here.
there. I don't even go there to visit family. Like
It's that bad? Well, we hope that changes because this channel is all about positivity.
I don't think it's getting any better anytime soon, but we'll see about it.
So today, on today's episode, I actually asked Rhiannon to be on the episode because she told me her story a while back, and I thought her story could help a lot of people. As always, so that's what this channel is for. So, you can start with your story anywhere you want to start at. Yeah, the floor is all yours. I really got that much of a long explanation on this one, so I'm gonna just let you tell it for yourself.
So when I was younger, growing up, it was me, my twin brother, and then my two older brothers. I have three brothers, by the way.
Yeah, and you are a twin. That's cool.
Yeah, and I'm the only girl.
First twin on the show.
Woo!
First female too.
Woo!
Yeah, first female. Yeah.
But yeah, so I have three brothers. I'm the only girl, so I've always had like a masculine side to me.
Yeah.
Which you can kind of tell. you can kind of tell. But I had my mom and dad growing up, and it was like a perfect little family, whatever, in our little shoebox home because it was small.
Yeah.
And eventually in 2016 or 2015, my dad got a work injury. And he hurt his back really bad, and he was out of work. I have the same work ethic as my dad, where like if I don't feel good, if I don't want to be at the house, I want to go and work. I don't like being trapped in my house all day because I got issues. So I don't want to be stuck with my issues by myself.
Yeah.
So I go to work to let everything go. Like, work is my happy place. And I know that sounds horrible because it's where we work, but it's my happy place. Like, seriously. And so he wasn't able to work because he hurt his back. He had 2 herniated discs, and he was in a neck brace. He got surgery and everything. And he was out of work for a while, and he worked in a union. He was a bricklayer.
Okay.
So, of course, it's a PA thing, union.
Yeah.
And his boss wanted him to lie to his doctor and say that he got hit by a truck.
Why? I guess why?
Workman's comp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
And so he wasn't comfortable with lying to the doctor about that. And so he ended up not saying anything about like how he really got hurt that way. And so he had like this weight on his shoulders. And eventually they had gone to court to try and get the workman's comp figured out and whatnot. And he had a hearing for April 16th.
Yeah.
And he killed himself on April 15th. And his case was going to be dropped, and he was going to get the money from workman's comp.
Damn.
So it's a little rough.
Yeah.
But
so with his accident and his herniated disc, do you know exactly like what happened? Like,
it was something that he did at work because he was working with like bricks, cement, cinder blocks, like all the hard stuff.
I guess like just lifting and
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like, I don't even know what exactly happened because I was only 11.
Yeah.
So I was I was in 5th grade, and me and my brother were walking home from the bus stop after our state assessments because those were a requirement. They took all day.
Yeah.
And we came home, and Ryan was asking our mom if he could have one of his friends over. And then, of course, mom does the little thing where she's like, "Oh, it's fine with me. Just go ask your dad." And Ryan was actually the one that found him. So it was rough. But
Yeah, as it would be. And I know as a kid, you're in your own world.
Yeah.
Majority of the time.
And it's hard to it was very hard to process because I'm like, oh my God, like what the fuck just happened?
Yeah. Like, could you see any signs or anything that He was just acting like his normal self all the way up until then.
Yeah. And then my mom told me, like, after the fact, she was like, you know, I asked him if he wanted to go to the store with me, and normally he does, but this time he said he didn't want to.
Yeah.
And
so she couldn't even tell that something was wrong, and it's been bothering him since.
My dad was a very, like, straight-faced person. He always talked to everybody, too, in case you couldn't tell with me. Like, I'm a very outgoing person, and anybody I see, I'm like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, you're super extrovert, yeah.
Yeah, that's how he was, and that's really where I got it from, because my mom's the polar opposite.
Yeah.
She can't stand people.
And you said your brother found him? Did your twin find him?
Mm-hmm.
And how was that? How was that for him?
It screwed him up. Like, you don't know about me, but him, he's like bedridden, like depressed. Like, it's bad. And I don't know how to help him. Like, I try to tell him things, but you can only tell somebody something so many times until they're just like, okay, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
So he's kind of gotten to that point. I will say that as time went on, my mom wasn't really there as a mom. She was more so there to just keep the house together and keep the house clean.
Yeah.
And me and my brother both realized that.
So how does that even work with the accident that happened? Like,
so she's considered widowed because her husband died. And so any benefits that he had from work would go to us.
Gotcha.
Because we were minors whenever he died. My life's a shit show right now, but we're getting through it.
I mean, you pushing through.
I'm trying to.
As everybody see, you smiling, you laughing, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of stuff you told us so far, we're not even really that far into talking.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure people can watch this the first 5 minutes and get motivated because they hear about your father, they hear about your mother's situation and everything. And then they look at you and you still sitting here smiling and laughing. So that says enough in itself about the type of character you are and the type of person that you are as well. You know what I'm saying? I think people can really use that
literally
as inspiration.
Like 2 weeks after my dad died and everything, I wanted to go back to school. Like, I didn't want to sit there and have everybody crying around me and have that bring me down and then make me feel the same way that they feel.
Yeah.
So I kind of like persevered, and I was like, I don't want to be here. I can't be here because that's just going to screw me up. Like, let me leave. Let me go to school. Let me go do what I want.
Yeah.
And so she was like, no, you just need a little bit more time.
You like to keep your mind distracted.
Yeah.
Because if you just sit there, your mind going to be all over the place.
Everything's going to get to you.
Yeah.
And that's the worst thing about it.
Yeah.
I don't want that at all. And I know other people don't want that neither, but they have no other choice.
I hate to keep going back to the accident, but that's not normal. You know what I mean? And
it's
I can see
something that you can just be like, oh, okay, it's whatever.
Yeah.
It's life changing.
I can see how that would break the family down as a whole, especially with like fathers. First off, a lot of people don't even have fathers in their lives. Mm-hmm. So like to be able to have your father is already, a step. Some people don't have mothers in their lives. I don't even want to put this on fathers not being there because I know some people who don't have their moms in their lives. And, their moms are living, but they just don't have their moms. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So everybody got that story and everybody goes through something. So I can see how the figurehead of the family, with the accident that happened, how that would break down and like deteriorate the whole family and kind of break it apart. Like the way you talking, you handle it different from your brother Ryan and your mom. I don't know how she handled it. You know what I'm saying? But anger. I mean, I bet because that was unexpected. You know what I'm saying?
But it was like, I think really at the end of the day, he wanted to do what's best for us, like us three. Yeah. Because Cody and Shane were actually both deployed at the time.
Okay, so they're in the military.
Yeah, they were.
They were in the military.
Shane was in the Army and Cody was in the Marines. And, like just going out and not knowing when you're going to hear from somebody.
Yeah. Oh, so this happened when they were deployed? Mm-hmm. Oh.
So they literally came back and then we had a funeral for them and then they had
to go back. Do you even think for your older brothers that they even had time to like grieve properly?
No. And I feel like that's another reason why they're so screwed up too. Because we've all been to therapy. Fun fact, I was the last one to go get therapy and I went because I felt like I needed to go. Like it was never a choice for me. Like, hey, I really think that you should go get checked out. It was like, okay, I know that I need to go get checked out.
Yeah,
Like,
you
this
knew for
isn't normal.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were a trendsetter.
Yeah.
You were a trailblazer.
Yeah.
That's good to be that for your family.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna break that curse and start a new pattern.
Yeah.
A pattern of positivity.
Definitely.
You know, explain what that process was like as far as like, I know for you in processing your feelings, you said like, you know, you just had to get your mind active.
Mm-hmm.
But explain like that first moment when you found out. Of course, I know it was probably like devastation, like what? And then you a kid. I think it's so hard for me to wrap my head around it because you were 11.
Yeah.
Like you were 11, bro. Like
it was insane. Like I didn't even know what was going on in my mind. I just had to get away.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even want to be in the house. So I went and I stayed with my cousins for a little bit. Obviously the school knew what was going on. It was funny because our guidance counselor at our school came to see us and like brought us stuff. Like my dad was well known around our county.
I'm gonna say that's what's up on the guidance counselor and stuff, because you know some people in schools don't really care that much. You know, if you watch James' interview when he was talking about the people that was taking care of him, you know what I'm saying? But that's cool. Shout out to her or him or whoever. Him? Yeah, shout out to him, man. How did you know, what happened affect the community? You know, you said your dad was well known.
Yeah.
How did everybody else take it? Because if he's well known,
like,
then
yeah, it was more so of a shock. Like, he did what? Like, nobody knew about it. Nobody knew that he was feeling that way. They all knew that he had a work injury, but they didn't know, like, that was the last time that they were going to talk to him. And that's the scary part about it, is because you never know what goes on in people's minds. So some people will sit there and put on a facade, but that could be the last time that you see their face.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't know if you ever see me at work, but I'm like, are you okay? Like, you good?
Yeah.
I always do that to everybody because you never know. Yeah. And some people aren't willing to talk about it, but it's good to actually talk and get it off your chest rather than to sit there and let it sit on your shoulders and let you just sink.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't get any better if you just do that. Like, it really doesn't.
I know this question is going to be kind of hard to answer, but like, why do you think he felt like he had no one to talk to? You know?
Probably my mom. She was definitely like the control freak in the relationship.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously you couldn't really talk to the two brothers that were deployed, and then you couldn't talk to the kids who are 11 and don't understand what's going on. So I was like, okay, well, who else do I talk to? And he had talked to his friends, but it was like just a cordial conversation. Like,
I was just about to ask, like, what about his friends? Like,
yeah, like it was never about how he felt, and I feel like that was just him. Like he always had this like strong demeanor to him, and I feel like he didn't want to, like, men talking about their feelings. They don't want to be looked at as
weak.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a bad stigma.
It's a horrible stigma because everybody has feelings, and everybody's feelings should be like seen. Like, you can't just sit there and look at somebody, see they're crying, and be like, oh, they'll be fine just because they're a man. Like, no. Yeah. Are you okay? Like, do you need something?
Like, what about your grandparents? Like his parents? Like,
oh, they were devastated about it. Yeah, everything that I do, like my work ethic, my drive, just everything that I do is because I feel like that's how my dad would have wanted me to turn out.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if you've seen my wrists.
Yeah, you actually showed me that.
I have both of their hands.
Lift them up a little bit more. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
So, yeah, I have that as like a reminder that no matter what, they're always going to be there, even though they weren't really there growing up. Like, they're still your parents.
Yeah. Did he leave a letter or anything, or?
He did. We didn't find it until like 3 months later.
Where was it?
In the back of his work truck. In a notebook.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
When do you think he wrote it? Like the night before?
Probably around that time. I think. So he was on oh my gosh, what is it called? It was a medication. And it caused.
Oh, I was about to say, I was gonna ask that. That's crazy you said that, because I was gonna ask that earlier and it just kind of slipped my mind.
I think I have it in my notes.
We were just talking, but so he was on medication for his injuries and stuff.
Yeah, and one of them caused suicidal thoughts.
You think that played a big part? Do you remember the medication, like the name?
I think it's in my notes, but I don't know.
Word.
I think it started with an L or a K. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But
did his like demeanor change when he started taking the medication and stuff? You can tell like a big difference in.
He was very anxious all the time. Like every morning, him and my mom would sit on the porch and they'd have their Wawa coffee and cigarettes, and like he was out there and he's just like this the whole time, like just shaking, and I'm like, are you good? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. But even my mom didn't even notice that anything was off.
Dang, that's crazy. Y'all found that 3 months later. I know that was probably tough to read.
The only thing that I remember from it was him saying that he was like the last link of a chain.
Yeah.
Like where he felt like he was just useless. And I was like, but he felt useless because he was the breadwinner of the family. And so he was.
Oh, when he got hurt, then he felt like he had no purpose.
Yeah. So it all kind of ties together. And like even growing up, I'm like, now I kind of think about it more and more. And I'm like, wow, he really did have like reasons to feel that way.
How do you for yourself stay so upbeat? I know you say you get it from your dad, but like, what's your thought process when you wake up? Because you got so many problems like just in your face.
Yeah.
To be real, like, how do you wake up and you still smile and you still come to work and you just are so jolly and happy with everyone? Like, how?
Because I don't want to let it stop me. Like, I have so many better things to look forward to.
I feel like you gonna inspire so many people, honestly, with your story.
We're gonna try.
Yeah. It's all right to let it out, man. Yeah. It's okay to let it out.
I know.
All right, yeah. It's all right. You fight every day. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the fact that you can still wake up and smile, bro, like, that says enough about who you are as a person. Like, you're somebody who needs to be on this platform to help other people, bro. Because I feel like people give up over smaller stuff, over simple stuff.
Yeah.
And you sitting here, you know what I'm saying? Like, with your mom and her sickness, or like she's not feeling good, then you got your dad whole situation, and you got your brother, and you're the stronghold. And like I said earlier, you're the trailblazer and you're the trendsetter. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot. Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Yeah. And a lot of people, like, whenever they I notice this because of like attempts that people try, but they'll do it as a spur of the moment because they feel like there's no other way to get out. Yeah. And it's like, you can't do that. Like, has anybody ever told you that you need to think before you do? Like, think about, don't even be selfish about it, but think about how many people that would affect and how many people you would have just let down when you could have just kept pushing.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that suicide is a selfish thing, but it's because they feel like there's no other way out. And when you have nobody to talk to like that, and when you have that sense of emptiness and that sense of like, okay, well, I'm going nowhere, so why am I going to continue? You can't think like that. Like, it's going to do nothing but drag you down.
First off, I do want to say thank you for being willing to share all of this with us today. I want to thank you for your spirit and the type of person that you are to help other people and to be very selfless, because I'm pretty sure when people watch this, I bet people are going to be like, I don't know how she even got on camera and just said this and smiled the majority of the way through. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I do want to thank you. I'm happy I didn't. Ain't no tears fall. I got a little teary out a little bit. But I just want to say thank you. Like, thank you so much, man. Because I feel like this is going to help a lot of people. And I feel like that's really it. It's just going to help a lot of people. And, you know, that's what this channel is for. And so for the last thing, you know, we have a tradition here. We always like to end our interviews the same way. Just look into the camera here. Really either one. Really either one, whichever one you like. And just if you got any motivating words, or, you know, any motivating words for anybody out there, you know, who's going through the same thing or has been through something similar as yourself, just anything you would like to say to them to help motivate them.
All I gotta say is, no matter what life throws at you, you just gotta keep pushing forward. So. All
right, simple and plain, but heavy hitting, just like we like to do it. And that's another episode of What's Your Story? And thank you once again.